Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush,
And I'm Alex.
and today reviewing Night Talks by Mark Kozelek. So, a couple weeks back, we reviewed the new Sun Kil Moon record, common as Love and Light and Valleys of. It's a long title. I don't remember the full thing. Anyways, anyways, I was just going through a couple different music sites, and I saw that he had released an EP, which I don't think he mentioned anywhere that he was releasing. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And these really do seem like outtakes from the Sun Kil Moon record. I don't know about you, but at least two of these. Well, one of them is just an acoustic version of the song, but the other two, there's 5 tracks, 2 of which I thought were just outtakes from the Sun Kil Moon record.
Yeah, this just feels like an odds and ends EP of extra tracks he had laying around just from the last album that he just had release and make a quick buck out of. And on the surface, it looks like that. But the difference between Mark solo and Sun Kil Moon basically is there isn't really any drumming on this. It is just Mark playing acoustic guitar and singing his lyrics. So one is a acoustic version, cover, and there's another song that has a with him. So the way I see it, there's only 2 original complete Mark Kozelek songs on here. So it is kind of interesting. But really, it is just an odds and ends EP. That's why I see it. Leftovers.
Yeah, for sure. So I thought that. So I want to start off with just the I Love Portugal acoustic track.
Right.
I don't think I liked that as much as the actual version on the album. There was something a bit odd about the guitars in this acoustic version that I just did not enjoy, or was not. It didn't really match the vocals as well as the actual song did. And I think
it's nowhere near as good for me.
Yeah, and at least I think that was the only so I think I'm on the Mark Kozelek bandwagon now, since that last album. And so that was I Love Portugal acoustic was the only, I think, really dim moment on this whole EP, given it's only 5 songs. The rest of it was really good and kind of what Mark Kozelek does best, just a extended story time sort of songs. And I think they were just really they maintained their interesting aspects. The only thing that really took away from this record was I loved how in Sun Kil Moon's last record they had overarching continuities throughout the whole album. As this is just a odds and ends sort of record, it didn't have that kind of continuity or any sort of overarching themes. But that's the only thing I didn't really enjoy, because I loved listening to his development of that serial killer case, and I loved hearing about just things that are going on in his life within the specific context, just by how he would almost do diary entry sort of things. But still a good EP. I'm very happy with this.
Yeah, just going back to I Love Portugal acoustic, I thought this would have maybe slightly alternative lyrics or something else to make it different or worth releasing. Not really, though. He sings the lines basically the same way. Basically written to be some diary entries type things. And it's nearly identical, except I think this has maybe some Portuguese guitars at the end that I can't remember at the end of the Sun Kil Moon version. It's not bad, it's just to have an acoustic version, and I don't know. My favourite song here is probably Astronomy.
Yeah.
Sun Kil Moon song. It's a good dialogue between a kid's joy and wonder of the world compared to the monotonous, boring day-to-day adult stuff Mark has to do.
Yeah, I think
he talks.
He's really just talking about he's reminiscing about the wonderment of children, how they're just excited by everything, intrigued by everything. And as you become an adult, you lose that kind of sense of wonderment and imagination, I guess. And he's comparing like his life as an adult to these children he's seeing. Or I think it was his like niece or something like that. But so he's
Yeah,
making that
yeah.
contrast.
I think it's his girlfriend's kids. I'm not too sure.
Okay, I didn't
He didn't
catch
really
that.
focus on the trip he has with her. Just that, uh, it's just a nice song about full imaginary life compared to his old man crap. He has a the real kick on here is that there's a touch of xylophone as another instrument because most of this is just acoustic guitar and vocals, and that adds a nice magical backdrop.
Yeah,
Says he wanted to write a song for her, and well, this is like that song. It's probably the nicest on here. I don't see how you couldn't like this. It's quite a nice song
yeah, that's a really good song. My favorite has to be
about
famous
her.
famous Blue Raincoat. Um,
Okay, yeah.
so I am a huge Leonard Cohen fan. I think he's one of my favorite old time musicians. One of my favorites, old time musicians. And even like last year, like, he passed. Obviously, he passed away. But last year, when he released his most recent album, I was enamored by it. I listened to it constantly. I was in love with it. So Leonard Cohen plays a big part in my personal just music taste. So when I saw this, so
Yeah.
the way I saw this was I was on a different website. I wasn't on YouTube. I wasn't on Spotify. I was on a different website, and it was the first four songs on the website, and and then I didn't realize a fifth song. So I scrolled down and I saw "Famous Blue Raincoat," and I got so excited. Like I was just excited because I feel like Mark Kozelek in a way would be able to portray Leonard Cohen's style really well, just because they have very similar singing styles. The more singer-songwriter, almost spoken word as singing. They don't actually have like much of a singing style. It's more spoken word over instrumental. And
Yeah.
I think he is the perfect artist for the song, to cover the song. Like, it's a beautiful piano ballad. I know you don't like pianos, but piano ballad.
I
Uh,
don't mind, really. It's just kind of funny that it's on so many songs as the last instrument.
yeah, for sure.
Like I said before, there's probably more songs, last song on the album that has bass or drums, but it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, but Mark Kozelek also has this raspy voice that just like keeps you completely into the song. It was, I think it was just a great cover. I really love it.
Videos of this have apparently circulated since late November last year, since Leonard Cohen passed away. So it is kind of cool to see him own the performance, because this is live, obviously. And hearing him performs it makes me realise how much of an influence Leonard was on Mark. It's probably obvious to most people, but I love songwriting. And yeah, that's a pretty good cover. Because yeah, I don't think he actually mentioned Leonard Cohen's passing on the last Sun Kil Moon album, because he mentioned David Bowie's, Prince, Muhammad Ali, lots of people had passed away. But I think his might have been too late to be mentioned, but it's great that he's got this on here. Okay, so Pretty Little Flowers, this is with a Calf Bloom. This is a weird one. This is the least like anything Sun Kil Moon related.
Yeah, it was really odd for me too.
Country singer-songwriter type thing. Bloom is the main artist as well, instead of Mark. So, and I can see why he'd release it on this sort of odds and ends EP, but man, I don't understand this. Like, I don't know. It's like a weird old country song.
Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, I didn't really hate it either. I thought it was still a pretty decent song. It just didn't fit Mark Kozelek's style. I think it was like something he tried out, or someone asked him to like. I don't really know the female singer with him, but
Yeah.
I think he just tried it out and see what happened. And he released it because he liked it. But it didn't really fit the tone of any of the other music I've heard. And I started listening to Benji a couple of days ago, so that doesn't fit at all either. But yeah.
I kind of think this is a showcase for Calf Bloom for people to try out her solo work, which I guess is fair enough. But she sounds as if she could be like some poor American woman from the early 1900s finger picking away at American Standards in a Cornfield or something. She sings that.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was
Okay,
okay.
there's also the title track as well, which is pretty decent, but the most interesting part of that is where he experiments with his voice, pretending to be like a train whistle, a car, and a wind and stuff.
Now, this song, I guarantee you, was almost going to be on the last record because he continues that whole the serial killer narrative on this song, talking about serial killers and murder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what tipped me
It,
off that some of these songs were going to be on the other record.
well, I'm just convinced that he had two new songs, Night Talks and Astronomy. I don't know where Pretty Little Flowers came in, probably from Day experimenting in the studio. Famous Blue Raincoat is from a live performance in November 2016, and I Love Portugal be from recording the last Sun Kil Moon album. He collects them all together, and he makes a pretty decent product out of it. I'm happy with this. I'm a fan of Mark Kozelek's work.
Yeah,
Quite slight and small compared to Common as Light.
for
But
sure.
it's a nice breather, it's a nice afterthought. It's a nice thing to listen to.
I thought Night Talks was a good song. I still
Oh
think
yeah,
Astronomy and Famous Blue Raincoat were the best on here, but Night Talks was also good.
probably, yeah.
The very last line when Sonny says, "I don't want our night talks to go away," because the whole thing is about him talking to his wife or someone, and he doesn't want these he doesn't want these things that they had before to go away, and he says the last says, "I don't want our night talks to go away," and the music just cuts suddenly. That was probably the most impacting part on me. It actually like felt like something in this song, and Mark Kozelek's really good at stirring up emotions in some of his songs, so I think he did that really well.
Like who describes a 12-year-old girl who he remembers when she was a baby, thinking how she was like a sack of flour. That kind of made the passage of time seem real, and he said that was only in 2005 that happened. So
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
he creates imagery and moods that are quite unique, I'd say, just off the cuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Other
I don't
people would be very lucky to have.
I don't think that Mark Kozelek and his projects or other bands and stuff can be very well replicated by anyone else.
No.
I can't think of an artist right now who could replicate what he's doing.
Well, we don't know that many folk artists around today. There might be some, but not that well known, obviously. We've not heard of them.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just in love with this. Well, I wouldn't say in love, but I thoroughly enjoyed most of these songs.
A nice
Well-
surprise.
What would you rate it, Alex?
It's Mark Kozelek. I enjoy his work. Astronomy, I'd actually say, is probably better than most of the songs on Common as Light, or at least as good. Famous Blue Raincoat was very emotional. Obviously, it is an odds and ends EP of leftovers or side tracks. Still really enjoy it. So this might seem quite high, but I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Very high quality stuff for what it is.
So for me, I think the main thing that took away from this album was that this EP. I know it was like just a kind of a mix and match bag of songs, but
Yeah.
I really enjoyed. One of my favorite parts about Common as Light was that it had those overarching themes, which this one was lacking. Given that there are still good songs on here, and he still like does it really well. What he does really well. His singer-songwriter, a way to create imagery and paint a picture for us just by listening to music. He is really good at those, and he's really good at stirring up emotions. So I still enjoyed majority of these songs. Just I Love Portugal acoustic version was just not for me. I wouldn't say it's not for me because I like the original. I think the acoustic part was a little off.
Yeah.
And I think it just didn't.
Also, when he's replicating the guy reading the letter, but it doesn't work as much as the original.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I felt it didn't sound as maybe because it wasn't in the context of the album too. But I just didn't enjoy that song as much as I did the first time listening to it on the actual Sun Kil Moon record.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 because I am fully on board the Mark Kozelek bandwagon.
Oh, I think we all are in busted speakers land. Yeah, even Ed probably would have loved this as well.
Ed, if you watch this, let us know what you think about this EP in the comments.
Yeah, can't wait.
Uh,
Oh dear.
well, that's it then. Thanks for tuning in to Busted Speakers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out some of our other videos and check us out on social media.